Today is rainy and cold, and so I am making a chicken and sausage chili. Good morning. Joshua has been doing eggs with Haley, and so they're gonna go deliver it, and I guess you're gonna get some fluorescent
gloves.
Yeah, fluorescent gloves. So I'm gonna be making my crew a chicken and sausage chili just because it's kind of cold outside. I think I need you to make me a fire later. So I have all my ingredients out. I got the butter in the pan.
Warm your hands up. It's nice and warm.
I got butter in the pan. I have sausage in this pan. I've cut my chicken up. I have I've washed my carrots, my celery, these beautiful onions I got from my mother-in-law. I have spices. I got my crock pot ready to go. I'm also gonna make some bread to go with the soup. It's just rainy, it's cold. It's supposed to be in the 70s the rest of the week though, but for today, it's been kind of chilly though. The leaves are turning so fast. Like fall is coming so fast. All right, well, let's get the soup going because it's gonna take a while because I'm putting it in the crock pot. So I want it ready to go for like a late lunch. My guys are all off today because it is so rainy outside. So I want something warm and then like the bread for them to enjoy later. In this pan, I have melted butter. I have my sausage in my other pan and some lard. Once the sausage is almost done, I'm gonna add my chicken to it. But I'm gonna start by getting my carrots, my celery, and my onions put in here with some garlic because I wanna saute them. I don't want them super hard when I put them in the crock pot, so I wanna make sure my chicken's done, the sausage is pretty close to being done, and then the veggies are tender. And then we're gonna put this on low with the beans and the chicken broth, and then my spices. So I'm gonna get this celery cut, add it to the butter. I'm also gonna add some garlic salt, some garlic, white pepper. So I like to use white pepper whenever I'm making anything with chicken. My boys are bringing my fall stuff up to me right now. I'm so excited. I use black pepper with more like beefs. If I do turkey or chicken, it's always my white pepper because I feel like white pepper is a little more milder than black pepper. Like if I do burgers or things like that, that's when I'll use the black pepper. So I'm gonna get all this cut, go to my carrots, then go to my onions. And I'm not sure, did I say chicken and sausage chili or did I say chicken and sausage soup? I'm not really sure which one I said. Yeah, there's others up there. My boys have a rain day today, so they're like hanging out at the house. So it might be a little crazy, I apologize. All right, the celery in, now the carrots. For some reason, whenever I cook, I never get my carrots soft, and my husband always complains, so I'm gonna cut them kind of thin and make sure that this time these carrots are completely cut or cooked through. All right, there we go. So super thin. Sausage is almost done, so I'm gonna add the chicken here in just a second. Alrighty. And then while this is going in the crock pot, I'm gonna start my bread. I'm gonna make 2 big loaves. I got the kids everywhere. All right, so I got the last of the carrots done. I'm gonna get these sauteing so I can get the carrots soft. And then I'm gonna cut up the onions. Look at this. My mother-in-law grows these. Tell me that's not the most beautiful onion you've ever seen. And I'm gonna add 2 of them. Lovely. I wonder if she grows garlic. I should see if she grows garlic too, but look at, beautiful. I got one of my onions added, now I'm gonna cut another one. So you don't wanna cut it super small because it's a soup and you want veggies in your soup. So I like to chunk mine. Plus they are gonna cook down, you know, as they heat up your veggies and stuff, they shrink a little bit. So, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more white pepper. I say a tablespoon, and then 2 tablespoons of garlic salt. And then about a tablespoon of paprika. I've already added some paprika. Paprika just gives it like a smoky, kind of little bit of a, like a little kick to it a little bit. Oh, where's my phone? Okay. There we go. And then I'm almost out of garlic. 2 tablespoons of garlic. This thing is so handy. Just squeeze and you're done. Okay, where's my spoon? Mix this up. I'm gonna throw a lid on it because I wanna make sure my veggies are nice and tender before I put them into the crock pot. This just makes it easier when you prep it before. You can put everything in the crock pot if you want, but I at least like to get the veggies cooking a little bit and the meat. All right, the meat and chicken is done. So we're gonna add this to the crock pot. There we go. I'm gonna get all those juices. There we go. Now to add the veggies. Got a little too hot on the bottom. When you use stainless steel, you gotta be careful. All right, that looks good. Whew. There we go. Stir it up. Okay, looks good. Really good. It's gonna be yummy. I'm gonna add 1 big jar of Great Northern beans. There we go. Get all those in there. You can also get this same brand in mixed beans. And then 2 cans of navy beans. I wanna go with the white bean because I'm going with more of like a chicken chili, not a beef. If it was beef, I'd do kidney beans. I would do chili beans and pinto beans. All right. Now, about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. There we go. And a cup of sour cream. There we go. Kind of made a mess. That's okay. And then about 4 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna mix this, put the heat on low, and then let it simmer until late lunch. There we go. Now mix it up. And it should thicken. I'm also gonna add a little milk or heavy cream to it later, but because it's gonna be cooking for so long, I don't want the milk to curdle if it gets too hot. So I'm gonna add that a little later. It already looks good. Kind of splattering it everywhere here. There we go. I got the lid on it and I put the temperature on, but I didn't plug it in. It's not gonna cook if I don't plug it in. Okay. All right, so I have it on low heat. You can do it on high, but I would really watch it. If you're gonna be around, then you can do it on high and then keep stirring it. But if you're gonna be busy, I would suggest doing it on low, cooking it for, I don't know, maybe 2 to 4 hours, just depending, because the meat's already done. The veggies are cooked. You're just trying to get like, now the beans all cooked in. You want it to thicken a little bit. And if you want to shred cheese and add it to it like you would chili, we can do that too. But if you don't want to do cheese, just serve it like this. It's going to be yummy. All right, 2 to 4 hours on low heat. We'll come back and I'll show you how it looks. And now it's time to head over and make the bread while this is cooking. Then that bread will be done and my family will have a warm soup on this rainy day. We literally had thunder, like big time, shook the whole house. It kind of scared me a little bit, took me off guard because it's like September and it's thundering. It's kind of weird, but okay, so let's go get the bread. So here's everything you're gonna need for the bread. So bread flour, butter, evaporated milk, honey, salt, of course the yeast. This is my salt right here, my little chicken thing. And then I was given these bread pans years ago from a lady in our church. I love them so much. All right, now let's get this bread going. Gonna start by adding 1 tablespoon of yeast. And then, let's actually move this. 2 cups of warm evaporated milk. And then you need a sugar for the yeast. So it is a 1/4 cup of honey. I'm gonna grab a whisk. There we go. Whisk that together, and then you're gonna let it set for about 10 minutes so it can proof. So it's proofed. So now we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. And then, oh, I forgot my tablespoon. There it is. And then 2 tablespoons of butter, or you can use oil if you want. There we go. And then 3 to 4 cups of bread flour. There's 2, 3. I'm gonna do 3.5. All right, let's see how this goes. If it's still sticky, add more. Okay, lock her in, and let's see how this goes. And this too cute to sever. It's my chicken I got at an antique show, or an antique store. I love antiques so much. That right there is from an antique store too. Love it. So you know it's done when the dough pulls away from the bowl and it forms a dough ball. Okay. You all see that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to add more. So I'm gonna stop this and add another. So I'm gonna say 4 cups. It really depends on where you live too. All right. And then I'm gonna take it out of here, put it into my greased bowl, and let it rise for about an hour. Oh yeah, that looks good. Just gonna mix in a little bit left of that flour. It might be a little sticky, and that's okay. All right, let's just go a little bit more here. All right, lift that up. I got my bowl here. I'm gonna grease my hands a little bit. It makes it easier to take it off the hook. Okay, we're gonna put it into this bowl. Like I said, it might be a little sticky, and that's okay. I've had some where it's not sticky and the bread is harder, but then but I've had bread that also works out. It really just depends on the temperature outside, to be honest with you. Got it all over my hands here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Cover it and then let it rise. It's going to take about an hour. You want it to double in size. The bread looks great. See that? Okay. I'm going to punch it down. Bring it out of the bowl. Put a little flour here. You're going to preheat your oven to like 375 degrees once this starts rising, because it has to rise one more time in the pan. So just bring it out. Feels good. There we go. And I just like to get some flour on my hands. You don't need to knead it. You don't need to knead. N-E-E-D-K-N-E-D. All right, so now you're just gonna pull it out into a rectangular shape here. You gotta get some more flour in your hand, go ahead. I'm using a wider pan. Can you see that? There we go. Okay. I'm using a wider pan, so I'm gonna stretch mine a little longer. Now, if you do just a normal bread pan, this will make 2. So you're gonna actually cut it in half, and then you're going to stretch out one and roll it and put in a pan, stretch out the other. But because I'm doing my big pans today, I'm not gonna do that. So you're just gonna, let's do it this way. Just gonna tuck it under and roll it. And make sure you got some flour in your hands. And I've already sprayed my bread pan. So make sure you spray your bread pans. Okay. All right, and we're gonna set it in here. And just kind of push it together, okay? So now you're going to cover it, or I'm going to cover it again, and let it rise half its size, so probably another 40 minutes. So when you see it start to rise, I would preheat, I know my flour's in the way here. I would preheat the oven because it's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes for your oven to get the temperature it needs. So I would say this will probably rise in about 30 to 40 minutes because it's warm, so I think it's gonna rise faster. And then start the stove about 15 minutes before. So I'm gonna say in about 15 minutes. Let's check on the soup. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down to low. I actually had it up on medium so it could cook some of these veggies. The carrots are nice and soft, but the celery was still a little hard. So I had it on high for about an hour. And now I'm gonna put it on low. All right, and I still have to add a little bit of milk or cream to it, But like I said earlier, I want to wait till it's almost done cooking, so I don't want that milk to curdle. If, you know, the liquid gets too hot, then you'll have a curdled mess. So that's just my suggestion. I'd add the milk later if you want to. So far it's looking okay though. Don't know if I'm gonna need to. Looks good. Don't mind my dirty oven. We've been doing lots of cooking. So the one here on the right is ready to go. The other one has a little bit left to go. So I got my oven preheated. I'm gonna throw the one on the right in, then get this one in when it's done, and we'll come back and put this wonderful melted butter on top. Oh yeah. All right, the bread looks really good. I don't know what happened right here. I've never had that before. I did turn down the heat because I had it at like 375 and my oven was kind of cooking hotter than normal, but the bread looks beautiful. All right, now I'm gonna brush melted butter on both of these. This makes this bread absolutely amazing. You have to make sure you brush the butter on it right after you take it out. I like to let some of the butter kind of seep down the side, just to kind of get it all down there. That looks really good. This one kind of could have risen a little bit. This one's a little off, but I know it tastes great. So my boys are waiting for lunch here. Noah's already come down and asked me if it's ready. All right, that looks great. Nice. Okay, soup is ready, the bread's ready. Sorry, my oven is cooling off, so it's loud. And of course, it's raining like cats and dogs outside, like it's absolutely crazy. But the soup turned out great. The bread turned out absolutely amazing. So now I just gotta text the family and say, lunch is ready. Make sure to subscribe and like to our family page and be looking out for more soup recipes, bread recipes, fall crafts, ideas you can do with your family, because we really love the holidays so much. And so we do a lot during the holidays, so look forward to that.